Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your buddy Chevy with part 2 of being a better man. So this one, there's a lot of guys out there that seem to be so masculine that they refuse to allow emotions to show. And I've known a lot of these guys in my life. I used to be one myself. Those who truly know me have seen me emotional. And I'm not talking about just angry. I mean, they've seen me be proud. They've seen me tear up. They've seen me in my most vulnerable places. And there have been a few guys in my life that I've allowed that to happen with. And I do it with my wife quite often. But the whole thing about it is, what we don't realize, a lot of us don't realize, is that we hold so much in that it changes who we are. It changes how we think. Forgiveness. Okay, that's basically where I'm getting at. Forgiveness. You have to be able to forgive those that have done wrong to you in order to move forward. My dad and I, we didn't have a relationship growing up. And there were a lot of things that happened when I was a kid that I eventually forgave him for. Now him and I have a pretty good relationship. We talk on a normal basis. We get together whenever he comes to town. But I had to forgive him for that. Now that also goes towards past relationships, old bosses, maybe an old friend who did you wrong. Now you're thinking, why should I care about forgiving? If you don't forgive those that have done you wrong, you are literally, without thinking about it, holding on to weight that is just making you a weaker person. Now, you may say, well, I'm not weak. I can handle a lot. You can, but eventually you get to a point in your life where everything just comes unwound. It all just seems to just drop right onto your shoulders and you don't know how to handle it. Because most of us, we deal with one thing at a time. So you can do that one thing at a time by forgiving those that have done you wrong. My ex-wife, I have custody of my daughters. And my ex-wife, she's done a lot. She's made a lot of mistakes. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I had to forgive her. It took me a long time. It did. But I forgave her. And I didn't tell her that I forgave her. I didn't do all that. But inside, I said, you know what? She's done me wrong. She's done my children wrong. But I wouldn't be where I am today if she hadn't. And I forgive her for her mistakes. I hope, that things get better for her and all that. But I had to internally forgive her for her mistakes. I still have friends that haven't forgiven her. But that's fine. Their problems are not my problems. Their burden is not my burden. So if you want to be a better man, especially for your kids, you got to think about this. Everything that you do, you say, just like I said in part 1, it reflects onto your kids, and they look after what you do. So if, as a father, you're going to make mistakes. We all do. None of us are perfect. But you're going to make mistakes. And later on in life, you're going to hope that the mistakes that you made, your kids don't hold against you. Well, how do you do that? How do you make sure that they have that same heart, that same mindset? You start forgiving the people in your life. You start forgiving those that have done you wrong. And as you start getting that weight lifted off of your chest, will ultimately show to your kids. Those that you didn't like or whatever, you won't talk about. You won't, and if their name gets brought up, you won't react negatively about it. You'll just say, oh, okay. Your kids and your wife are watching everything you do. So learn something for forgiveness. It's not going to happen overnight. But learn something for forgiveness. Because I promise you, once you start forgiving people, the weight on your shoulders starts to drop and you're able to focus better on the things that you have right in front of you. Anyways, y'all, thank you for watching. I'll have part 3 coming up soon. I appreciate everything. And make sure you like. Hey, if you want to continue to see my videos, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment on this, because the algorithms have changed. So they're basically, if you comment on something or a certain page, you'll start seeing them more often. Anyways, y'all, I love you. I'll talk to you soon.